Chapter 6: Institutions and Partnerships. Coming together is a beginning, keeping together is a progress, and working together is success. Henry Ford. Done by AJ, Gita, Khao, and Tova. What is a partnership? The term partnership has become central to much of the discourse on international development and has been described by some as overused and under-scrutinized as a result. The traditional dictionary definition of a partnership states the contractual relationship between two or more persons carrying on joint business venture with a view to profit, each incurring liability or losses and the right to share in the profits. The impetus for forming a partnership is expressed as the pursuit of a common goal and the acknowledgement of added value by working together collaboratively. A cross-sector alliance of individuals, groups, and organizations has been promoted as the best way of addressing pressing development challenges.
Actors involved in a partnership. Partnerships manifest as a relationship between the public sector, the business sector, and civil society, where the public sector is primarily driven by rights, the business sector by profits, and the civil society by values. While tri-sector alliances of this nature offer potential for new and innovative solutions to tackle urban poverty, alliances can also be formed of members from the same sector.
Partnership in the context of international development. The UN Conference on Environment and Development, the Rio Earth Summit in 1992, placed partnerships between government, the private sector, and civil society as central to achieving global sustainable development. In the context of international development, civil society can be represented by non-governmental organizations, or NGOs, in the North and South. Special initiatives were required to ensure that the poorest people would share adequately in the opportunities and benefits. The development programs of the 1960s had focused on assistance to newly independent governments in the South. But as a result of perceived failures of national governments to achieve development quickly or effectively enough, donor organizations began to manage projects directly.
Partnerships and urban poverty. Partnerships between non-government organizations, NGOs, and community-based organizations, CBOs, and local government began emerging to promote urban poverty alleviation. The failure of public agencies to meet the needs of the poor and the success of certain self-help projects resulted in NGOs being seen as alternative to or even substitutes for public agencies.
Partnerships in the context of disaster response. Strengthening partnerships between NGOs, international organizations, the International Red Cross, and UN agencies is a key part to the approach in order to involve all humanitarian actors in a collaborative and inclusive process focused on areas of common interest. Cluster approach has been developed to coordinate the efforts of agencies operating in humanitarian emergencies to avoid unpredictable response and gaps in some areas, and instead strengthen system-wide preparedness and technical capacity by ensuring predictable leadership and accountability in the main sectors or areas of humanitarian response.
Potential, limitations, and challenges of partnerships. Only with comprehensive and widespread cross-sector collaboration can we ensure that sustainable development initiatives are coherent and integrated enough to tackle the most intractable problems. Limitations. Partnerships have been criticized as a phase of policy experimentation, which serves to legitimize the continued intervention by the West in developing world as a neoliberal global economic order which inhibits development. Challenges. Special effort needs to be taken to avoid marginalizing already excluded groups further through partnership projects. It is also important to understand that collaborating across different sectors and organizations is not easy.
Key principles and skills for working together. Equity. The right for all partnerships to participate and the recognition of the resources they bring. Transparency is the key for accountability to donors and stakeholders. Mutual benefit, a partnership that benefits all partners individually and collectively. Partnerships also require a set of skills that their members should consider investing in. These include communication, negotiation, mediation, conflict resolution, as well as monitoring and evaluation skills.
Cycle of partnerships. It is helpful to see partnerships as operating in a cycle with adequate time given to each stage of the process. Different actors will contribute at different stages in a development project. This cycle incorporates the following: scoping, identifying, building, planning, managing, resourcing, implementing, measuring, reviewing, revising, institutionalizing, sustaining, or terminating.